Okay, hello everyone. We are live. It is 6:31. So 1 minute. It was taking 1 minute to get on. But hello to everyone. Come on in. We're going to get started. I am not going to waste a ton of time. I'm going to dive right into this. We're going to be off right at 7 o'clock, so maybe slash 7:01, 7:02. Okay. But I have everything written down. I have a full page notes for you guys, okay? But we're going to get started. So hello to everyone. If you are watching, this marks our kickoff training for this month of May or whenever you're watching this. Hello to everyone who's watching on the YouTube channel, watching the live stream. Hello to everyone who's watching here on Instagram Live. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm honored that you have made time to be with me today, okay? That is such an amazing thing. Again, I'm always honored when you guys make time to invest in yourself, okay? So let's dive into today's topic. Today, we're talking about Platform 101. What is a platform? Today is a free training made just for you, made for those of you who are leaders, you're experts, and you want to learn how to package that knowledge, or maybe you already have products and services, but for you, it's been kind of scattered and you don't really feel like you have a true grip on having people not just follow you, not just want to hear what you want to say, but invest in you and really in your genius that's up here on a consistent basis. So we're going to get into today's goals, but I do have a few announcements I want to make before we get started. The first is that if you have not joined the email list, what are you doing? I'm joking. But if you have not joined the email list, you need to. And I'm going to tell you why. So I send out strategic emails during the week, and I help you to stay accountable to what we're focusing on as a tribe. I have thousands of leaders who are part of my email list. Some of them are on social, some of them are not. That's why we have the new YouTube channel. But the point is that every leader, whether they're in ministry, they're in business, they have nonprofits, they have movements around fitness, real estate, ministry, branding, graphic design. We have people who are building movements for young women and for grown women. We have people who are building movements for men, men in ministry, men in life, men in mental health. We have people who are building movements in the mental health field, people building movements in therapy. There are so many different experts. I have chefs, I have catering businesses. I have all types of leaders who are following me, who they have a message to share to the world, and they want to share their knowledge, their genius. Maybe you want to teach someone a talent, a skill. You want to teach people maybe how to build the business that you've built. Maybe how to build the ministry that you've built. Maybe you want to teach people how to pray. Maybe you want to teach people how to maneuver in real estate, how to maneuver in investments and finances. Whatever it is that you want to teach, I am the coach that's going to teach you how to package it. My name is Genesis Dorsey, and I am the platform coach. My job is to teach you how to package your passion into active and passive income products. So if you have not joined the email list, you can do so by going to my website at genesisdorsey.com. It's my name.com. And right there, you're going to see the Platform Playbook. You're going to also see a top banner that says free gift plus get your playbook. That is my free gift to you, to give you the first 3 keys to building an amazing platform. The second thing is that tonight we open up the doors for this month's training at the end of the month. This month training will be on May the 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. It's called Platform School. And we're opening it up to the email list for really the next 3 days, 72 hours. And then we're going to open it up to the public. So our email list always gets first dibs on my trainings that I have coming up. And this month, again, we're going to be focusing on Platform School. And Platform School is a 1-day training that's going to teach you how to work on your product map. And if you don't know what a product map is, it is what every platform needs to begin to focus on how you're going to have these profit generating activities. Because as great as it is to have a website, to have products and all these kind of things, if these things are not connected with strategy, you're going to have all these different products that don't connect, that don't take people on a path. And really, you're just going to be a leader who just has all these standalone scattered products. And a platform should have a product map. So I'm going to teach you my science and what I teach all of my coaching clients on creating effective product maps. This applies to services as well as product-based businesses. But more so, it's for those of you who have platforms. Also, too, in Platform School, we're going to be covering the essentials of how to generate profit in a platform-based business, especially when you're trying to monetize your knowledge. So stay tuned for those announcements for Platform School. So let's get into this. I want to also say this before we get started. One more thing is that after today's teaching, if you have enjoyed today's training and you have learned something, I want to give you a gift. For those of you who have learned something, again, after we finish today's training, and you're like, Genesis, I want to share with you some of the things. Hey, Germany, I want to share with you some things that I've learned. I'm going to give you 15% off of my class that's going to be happening on May the 30th. If you send me an Instagram DM, again, that's an Instagram DM at Genesis _Dorsey, or you can send me an email at info@genesisdorsey.com. Send me your first name and tell me what you've learned from today's training. And I'm going to send you in return a 15% off coupon for my upcoming training. Okay, that's going to be on May 30th. So that's going to be a really big benefit. Okay, so here is it. Today we're talking about what is a platform. Okay, and again, I'm the platform coach. So I believe that I think I should kick off by telling you what is a platform if this is the kind of coaching that I do. Okay, so let's get into this. Number one, I want to talk to you guys about, I have 4 points that we're going to cover. So if you're taking notes, again, I have a ton of notes, but if you're taking notes, the first thing I want you to write down is this: a platform is a cohesive unit. That's the first thing you want to write down. Because again, we have 4 main points. But the first one is this: a platform is a cohesive unit. A platform is not a website. A platform is not social media. A platform is actually an entire organism or unit. So when I coach on platform coaching, where I talk about how to really have an effective platform, we're not just talking about one piece of the puzzle. Because I know many people who have tons of social media followers, they don't have a platform. They don't. They just have a ton of social media followers, right? I know people have a ton of products, but they don't have a platform. They just have a ton of products, right? Usually these products are scattered, don't make sense, and they're not actually experiencing high revenue in their business or their company. Got it? So the first thing to know is that a platform is a cohesive unit. Now, what is a platform a cohesive unit of? Great question. So a platform is a cohesive unit of information and then the dissemination of that information. Okay, this is very important to know, okay? Because a lot of times what happens is that people think that, oh, well, I have a message for the world. Okay, I have a message for the world. I want to teach people how to do blah, 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 right? And guess what? It isn't cohesive. When I look at your brand as a whole, and this is what I do in coaching, I can take a step back and look at someone's complete business, and I can say, this is not a platform. They say, well, what do you mean? I'm saying, well, it's not cohesive. Everything seems to be kind of on its own. On YouTube, you're talking about this. On Facebook, you're talking about this. On your website, it looks like this. So it's like, where's the platform? A platform is an all-in-one system. So remember is that a platform is a cohesive unit. And what is the cohesive unit? It is the unit. Here's what it is. It's information and then the dissemination of the information. So in other words, when I say, what is your platform? As an expert, you should tell me, well, my expertise is that I teach people this kind of knowledge. Got it? And when I look at all of your platforms, it should be teaching the same thing. Got it? So some people, they say they're experts at, consulting, let's say they say medical business consulting. But yet when I go to your Facebook, all you talk about is singles and dating. Okay. Okay, you're giving dating advice, okay, on your one platform. Then the other platform, you want me to take you seriously as you talk about, corporate leadership. Got it? I'm not saying that you're not great at these topics, but you don't have a platform. You have all this different random information. And just because you have a voice and just because you have knowledge to share does not mean that people will not be confused. You have to have it all working as one unit. Got it? So it's the fact that you have information. That's the first thing. So a lot of people, this is big, they have encouragement profiles and platforms. They don't actually have platforms. They just talk a whole bunch of encouragement. But then when I look for your expertise, I don't see it. right? This is really big because sometimes people are not investing in you at the level that you want them to because all you share is encouragement, but I don't see expertise. So you're posting encouragement quotes 24/7. Meanwhile, people have real money to give you, right? And they don't even know what it is that you do. They think you're a motivational speaker when really you're an expert at teaching musicians how to monetize their skills. But meanwhile, all you post are random music options and you don't give any expertise, right? So yeah, I see that you have a passion. I see that you have expertise. But again, it's not just the fact that you have information, but it's the dissemination of that information. Dissemination means to spread out and to provide. That's how you establish yourself as an expert. People shouldn't have to guess that you're an expert. They shouldn't have to look to find you as an expert. Your platform, all the information you put out from your social to your website, to your email marketing, to your text marketing, to when you go out and speak or meet people or network, it should all match. You are one walking platform. Does that make sense? You're one walking platform. So because of that, again, let's go back over these notes. A platform is a cohesive unit of information. So number one, a platform is a cohesive unit. What is it? It is a cohesive unit of information and the dissemination of that information. So it's not just the fact that you know something, but you are constantly providing it out. Got it? So that people can say, hey, who's really good at teaching people how to do this? Bam, it's Germany. It's Michelle, it's Faye, it's Pat. So when they think of a subject, they turn right to you. It's hilarious because a few minutes ago, someone needed a lawyer, right? And there is one person I know. This woman has a podcast with lawyers. This woman is talking about lawyer talk all the time. And so I called her. I was like, it's Kinchlow. If I don't listen, Kinchlow Law. That's who. My friend from Atlanta, she was like, I need this kind of person. And I was thinking, okay, I can only think of one person. Now, there are tons of people who probably I could connect her to, but I went to someone who I knew was giving out information, who I saw as an expert in that field. So it's really funny because a lot of us, we know people who do similar tasks, but then there are people who are like the level up, where they're not just an expert, but they are a dissemination of knowledge. And so you trust them greater as an expert. Does that make sense? So it's like, we know a lot of people who bake, but then we know people who are like expert bakers because they don't just bake, they are also sharing, how they're baking and what they're baking. Got it? And so that helps you to have an elevated trust factor. Got it? So again, let's go back over this before we leave this. Again, our platform is a cohesive unit. It is a cohesive unit of information and the dissemination of that information. So it's the information itself, and then it is the information package to be spread, to be sold, and to be shared. Let's go over these S's. Okay, it is the information that's packaged to be spread, that's dissemination, to be sold, that's profit, and to be shared, that's viral information. That's when you start going viral because people now don't just love your information. Now they're sharing it to other people because they themselves needed it. Then they want to share it. Got us? Let's go back over this. This is the info itself plus the info package to be, what are our three S's? To be spread, dissemination, spreading it out. Number two, to be sold, packaging it as profit. Got it? Products for profit. And then to be shared, viral content. Got it? Okay. So the types of platforms that we have are social channels, that's social media. We have marketing channels, that's email, text, billboards. These are the ways that we get people exposed to our platform, maybe sponsoring events or this kind of marketing. The third kind is in-person presence. So this could be networking, this could be attending events, speaking at events. These are ways in which you're establishing your authority and getting people to know more about who you are. Then the fourth one is your website or landing pages, where you're driving traffic to for people to interact and connect with you. Got it? Okay, great. Let's move on. So the first one is that, again, a platform is a cohesive unit. The second thing is that a platform is your unique thought or viewpoint. Okay. Again, a platform is your unique thought or viewpoint. Okay. What I mean by this, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about having a platform. A platform means you have opinions that people may not agree with. That's what makes you unique. A lot of platforms don't stand out because people are wishy-washy. One day you're saying that you're this, or one day you're saying you believe in this, then the next day you're switching up. Which one is it? Who are you? Great platforms have opinions. This is what makes CNN and Fox News. Perfect example. These are two platforms, completely different viewpoints. But what happens is that they attract the audience that they have because they've picked a side. And what happens for many leaders is that they think that they're a leader, but they have not picked an opinion or a fact that they want to stand on, which means that when people are trying to follow you, you are wishy-washy. This is really, you cannot be wishy-washy as a platform. So a lot of times people don't want to step on people's toes or say, this is the way that I believe this should be done. Perfect example is weight loss or fitness, right? You will hear people say, well, this is the way that I believe, or this is the way that our platform pushes health and fitness, got it? Or health and wellness, got it? And then you see something and someone doesn't agree with you. You're like, you know what? Never mind. We actually agree with this, got it? Wishy-washy. What makes people follow certain diets and say, oh, I like the keto diet, or oh, I like the Dr. Atkins diet, or oh, I like this diet? It's because those diets have basically said, this is the way that we believe you should lose weight. And guess what they've built? A movement behind that opinion. You build a movement the day you have an opinion. You do not have a movement when you don't have an opinion. You have to learn how to stand on a way of doing something and that be your way. If you believe that your collard greens should have turkey neck bones in it, that is your way. That is your movement. If you believe that it should have no neck bones and no kind of seasoning, then that is the way that you believe and that is the way that you cook it. Got it? You got to figure out how you want to cook your knowledge. Do you want to cook your knowledge with garlic salt and a little dash of oregano? Or you're like, nah, I'm going to do mine with some hot sauce. Maybe you're someone who says, I want everything in. Whatever way is your way, that is the way you have to stand on. So a platform is your unique thought or viewpoint. Don't be fearful because when you get online and you see someone with a bigger movement or following, they're saying something different than what you say. You have built your movement. That's what you believe. This is what you think. Got it? And so many leaders want to build movements and platforms, but they're scared to have an opinion that may not be what other people believe in. But that is your movement. Got it? You got to have confidence in what you believe. And here's the thing, being unique about what you believe in or what you believe is your way, this is actually going to be your way of branding yourself. Got it? Because it's your way of doing things. That's what makes Apple and Microsoft have two separate movements, because Apple has their lifestyle and their way of how they do work, how they do design, how they do phones, how they do their way of life. And Microsoft has how they do phones, how they do computer software, what's their way of life, right? So you have to think about it like, you build a movement when you build what you believe is your way, okay? That creates a path for your customers and for your following. So here are four ways in which you can, again, have a platform that is your unique thought or viewpoint. Number one, you gotta have an opinion. You cannot be scared to have opinions. Okay, what is your way? For instance, I'm a platform coach and I've developed my way of how I believe you should build your platform. There could be someone out there who says, that's not how you should build your platform, you should build it this way. I'm not going to change. This is the way that I believe it. And this creates confidence in how I teach, because I believe that the way that I've created it will help my tribe reach certain results. Got it? The second thing is that you have to stand on that opinion. Stop being wishy-washy. This is the way you've introduced that's your path. Number three, you need a mission that you actually fight for. Your belief system is what you fight for, right? Because if you think about it, when we look at the greatest CEOs, matter of fact, this is why I love Steve Jobs. Now, he wasn't the perfect human. None of us are. Got it? But the point is that if you've ever seen any of the Steve Jobs movies, there's two of them. My favorite one is actually not the one with Ashton Kutcher. It's the other one that came out recently. I think it's called just Steve Jobs. But what I love is his fight for what he believed in. Even when he was kicked off of his board, then they came back to get him, okay? Steve believed in Apple. Let me tell you something. That man, he had a concept of what he saw for the future, and he believed in it. Even when people believed that what he believed in was not the way, he was building not just a product, but a lifestyle around the way that we do work, the way that we communicate, the way that we use or listen to music. This man's vision was greater than a product. Some of you have gotten so stuck on a product that you have not built a platform, because you're so focused on one book or one teacher or one course or one quote. You have not actually built a platform. A platform creates a way of life. It is a mission that you become hungry about. And then from there, you birth out products and services and things like that. But people don't want to be opinionated in this society anymore. They're scared that someone will, people are so sensitive nowadays. Oh, no one, they may not like that. They may get offended. So what? People for every great invention, someone got offended because someone didn't believe in it, or someone didn't like it, or someone didn't like the change that it was going to bring. Got it? So you have to understand that you have to stand on that opinion. And from that, you have a mission to go after. But number 4 is that mission, okay, that mission should become your way of life. It becomes your way of life. It shapes how you build what people follow. Okay, it shapes it. So this is why a lot of people try to build businesses out of a product. No, you build a business out of a mission that creates product. There has to be something deeper in you that wants to make products so that you don't quit just after you make a product and it doesn't sell. There needs to be something deeper. That's why I'm called the platform coach, not the product coach, because I'm going to help you make products. But what's bigger than a product is a platform that the products sit on top of. And it's the platform that drives the products. You got it? So you have to make sure, again, that you have a mission. So let's go back over this. Again, a platform is your unique thought or viewpoint, okay, around a certain subject matter, okay? And being unique is going to be a part of that platform. You have an opinion makes it amazing. And here are the 4 things we just talked about. Again, you have to have an opinion about what you believe is a lifestyle within your mission or your movement. Number 2, you have to stand on that opinion. Number 3, you have to have a mission that you actually want to fight for, that's worth fighting for when you come against opposition, when you come against other people who may fight the way that you teach. Got it? And then number 4, you have to make sure that that mission becomes your way of life. That it becomes your way of life, okay? Number 3, let's go to the next point. Number 3 is that a platform always has a movement. Where there is no movement, there is no platform. Okay, where there is no movement, there is no platform. And where there is a platform, there better be some movement. Let me tell you about my brand shift. When I started my brand, and if you're on my email list and you saw, I sent out an email yesterday about what my brand looked like in 2014. It did not. It looked corny. Anyway, I started, and I didn't really. When I started out of just a sincere heart. I just wanted to encourage people. But encouragement is not an expertise. I'm about to pop a lot of people's bubbles. Encouragement is a form of expertise, but it's not actually expertise. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. So every encourager actually has some expertise. It's just surrounded by encouragement. Right? Because encouragement is a byproduct. Again, it's not actually expertise. For instance, if you're someone who has a heart for moms and you like to encourage moms, really encouraging moms is the byproduct, but behind it, maybe your expertise is the fact that you focus on helping women to find their voice within darkness. That's expertise. Encouragement, though, is not expertise. So see, this is what I hear a lot of women say, especially women when they come to me. Shanna says, I want to build a platform encouraging others. And I look, or if I'm on Zoom, or maybe I'll listen if I'm on a phone call, and I'll say, okay. And then there's silence. And I'll say, okay, and what's your expertise? Encouragement. And then I say, that's not an expertise. And it gets quiet. And then I ask them this question. This is what always happens. I said, what do you really want to do? And whenever I ask that question, I always, without fail, hear a deep sigh. And then out of their heart, all this stuff starts talking. Well, you know what I really want to do is I want to help women break out of the fear that I had when I was 21 years. And it's just starts coming out. And, because see, encouragement was the cover up. But then I asked, okay, but what do you really have a heart for? What are you willing to fight for that you want to help other people do? That's when I hear the real meat. Okay. So that's when I understand that, see, there's movement. Encouragement is not movement, y'all. It's what's deeper. It's what's behind the encouragement. Where do you want to take people? So here's the thing. For me personally, when I started my movement, I was just like, I want to encourage people. But that really was not my expertise. Eventually, I began to uncover that my expertise was wrapped up in helping leaders and experts to build their platforms. I thought it was just encouragement, but it really wasn't, because that really wasn't my passion. Encouragement only lasts for so long, right? You got to drive people to action. Leaders look for results. This is important. So see, that's why encouragement is not an expertise. because encouragement is a byproduct of what you want them to do with the results. Every leader wants to produce results, not just talk. It's about results. So I had to figure out my expertise had to come with results. What was my expertise that would create results? Got that? So that's when I found out that I could then build a movement. Because if you're going to get people to move, they have to move to results, which means that you have to create a path of action. Got it? So when people say, I want to build a movement, or I want to build a platform, remember, platforms always have movements. Got it? So this is why a following is not a movement. You can have a ton of followers and people following you produce no results. They just following you, liking your pictures. And some of you are so jealous around people because they have, 1,000, 10,000 likes on their photos. And you're thinking, one day I just want to have that much engagement. But then the question becomes, but what kind of results? Because you can have likes all day, but the question becomes, every leader, every true leader wants their people to have results. And they don't care if they got 5 or 50. At the end of the day, what did you as a leader push people to do? Okay, this is very, very important. I may not post a picture every day of my body. Okay, but guess what? It's not for women especially, they feel like, oh, I don't have enough selfies to post. People aren't liking my content because at the end of the day, I'm about results. I'm about results. Have you done your homework? Okay. Have you decided to be consistent in your business? Let me look at your revenue. Let me look at these reports that you're doing for me. I want to make sure you're producing your business. It's not my job to be cute for y'all. Okay. Now I want to look good, but see, my platform is not about that. My platform is about helping leaders and experts package their knowledge. So it doesn't matter if one day I have 300 likes on one quote and then another day I have 20 likes on a flyer. At the end of the day, am I making you do your job? That's how I know I'm a good leader. It's because I look at my leaders lab, I look at my tribe, I look at my comments, I look at my emails that I get from my email marketing. They're telling me, Genesis, I launched my book and got these sales. Genesis, instead of me rushing ahead like I always do, I decided to download your profit plan and put it to action. And now I have a strategic outlay for how I'm going to make my revenue. That's how I know I'm doing my job. Are you doing yours? Are you building a platform? You got me? You need to build a platform. Again, your platform has movement. Okay, so then I want to ask you this question again. Following is not a movement. Likes and comments don't make a movement, and content does not make a movement. You could have written 300,000 blog posts, and still you're not moving anybody to do anything. You're just writing. And the thing about it is that your writing is a gift, but don't waste your gift if you have not focused your gift to build the movement. People are waiting on you to get a job done, not for you to be writing all day and you don't tell anybody about your blog posts. You're not trying to gather people into a following. You're just creating stuff. Let me tell you something. God, he is a creator, but he does not waste his creation. He always has purpose what he has created to do. We can look at the book of Genesis from the beginning. And when he made man, he gave man a purpose. He didn't just make man out of dust and just say, okay, there you go. No, he put him in a garden to take care of what was around him. He told him that it is your job to name all of the animals. It is your job to reproduce and to multiply. He never creates without giving it a purpose. You have been made in the image of God, which means that you have been made to operate and think just like him, which means that if you are creating stuff without a purpose, you're out of order. You got me? You're out of order. So you need to get back in order. Okay? Okay? Because you were made with purpose. God did not make you by accident. Okay? I don't care if you came. I don't care even if you came by accident. If your parents didn't even plan to have you. Okay? There's nothing that ever came to life that God did not have a purpose for. When he made you, he knew that you would have an expertise. I feel the Holy Spirit. I'm not even trying to teach. Okay? But he knew that there would be a plan and a purpose for you. He knew that you would have a gift and a talent. And sometimes for some of you, it's taken years to unravel that talent. It's taken years to uncover some of those giftings due to fear and lack of faith and due to just chaotic thought thinking. And maybe one day you just had to come across me to get clear, to get some clarity. But the point is that you have now come to a place where you can realize that God has given me a gifting, a talent, a skill. And there are people, thousands of millions of people out here who want to hear what's in your mouth. You hear me? Okay. I feel the Holy Spirit. So let me calm down and focus, okay? But let me tell you, so there's a reason why I've shown up today, okay? And that is for you, again, to understand that you are building a platform, you're building a movement. And remember, here is number 4. Number 4 is that the platform moves as you move, okay? So again, let's go over these points real quick, and then we're gonna finish our last point. Number 1, we're almost done. Number 1 is that a platform is a cohesive unit, okay? A platform is a cohesive unit. What is a cohesive unit of information and then the dissemination of that information. Number two, a platform is your unique thought or viewpoint. You got to learn how to have an opinion and stand on it. Okay. You may think that the sky is pink. But listen, baby, if your platform is all about the sky being pink, you better run with that sky being pink, because guess what? That gives you a distinct brand voice. That gives you a distinct way of doing things. And at the end of the day, it makes you who you are. So we said you got to have an opinion. You got to stand on your opinion. You got to have a mission that you fight for, okay? But then we also said that number three is that a platform always has movement. Okay, you don't have a platform. You don't have. Here's the thing: if you don't have a platform, then you don't have a movement. Okay, it's people who are on a mission move. My God, we're gonna say this for number four. But if you tell me that you're really passionate, then why aren't you moving? Let me tell you something. There is no one I have ever found who was a mother who birthed a child that they loved and would not fight for that child. There's not a father I know who did not see a child that they loved and would not fight for their child. When you love something, you fight for it. When you know that God loves you, you are willing to do whatever it takes to stay in his love. When you know that you've been put on this earth to offer gifts, talents, and abilities, you will fight for your mission. You will fight for your vision. The thing about it is that the reason why so many people have quit is that they did not actually love or really love what they said that they loved. If you say that you love your business, you will be willing to fight for it. Then why are you quitting so easy? If you say that you love who you are and you love who God made you to be, why are you quitting so quick on yourself? You have to realize that if you really love yourself, if you really love your dreams and your purposes, you got to learn how to fight for that which you love. It's crazy on how we will fight for people who will stab us in the back. But then when it comes to our dreams and our visions, we act as if it's okay to put that by the wayside. Listen, for some of you, your consistency in this season is going to bring forth a new you that you have been praying for. You got to stop praying for some stuff. Some stuff you got to realize God has already given it to you, and it's your consistency that's going to pull it out of your own self, which is why number four is that a platform moves as you move. If you really believe in it, move in it. If you really believe that you're called to do it, then walk in it. So here's what I want to give you as we wrap up. I got 3 points and we're going to be done. Number one is that scattered movements produce scattered cash flow. Okay. Some of you trying to figure out why you have so many holes in your boat. It's because you keep on creating holes out of scattered thoughts. See, scattered thoughts will never serve the main purpose. Scattered thoughts are like when you should be paddling, but instead you're drilling holes. Right? See, a scattered thought would say, you know what? I don't need a paddle. Let me do this. I don't need a paddle. Let me do that. I don't need a paddle. Let me do this. Right? And so now you're drilling holes in your boat. When really focus says, I may want to drill holes in my boat, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm trying to do. Remember, as a leader, we are all about leadership. Okay? Can I break this teaching to you real down? We're almost done. And as a leader who's building a platform, remember, there are tons of people who are waiting on you. And I want to wrap up the rest of my notes with a story. Can I wrap it up? Jesus told his disciples one day, he said, let us go over to the other side. And Jesus was on a mission. You see, he had come on the earth with a particular purpose in mind. He was set upon the earth to save the world. He was set upon the earth to give teachings and of ministry and of healing during a certain pocket of time. And when you realize that God has given you a window, you don't waste the window that you've got. You got it. So Jesus, he was on the earth for about 30 years, just growing and growing and growing, building himself up for this platform. Got it. And then at the age of 30, he emerges and he begins to do ministry for about 30 years and some change, about 3 years too, about 3 years. So from 30 to about 33, okay? And there comes a day in all of his ministry where he has to get over to the other side to continue doing what he's called to do. I'm speaking to somebody right now. And so what happens is that he tells his disciples, let us go over to the other side, because he's on a mission. And when you're on a mission, remember, you got to move. When you're on a mission, you've got to move. And so what happens is that a storm comes. They want to get over to the other side and a storm comes. This is scattered thinking. And so the disciples, they begin to worry. See, let me tell you what scattered movements mean. Scattered movements are a product of fear. Let me tell you what I mean by this. When you are not focused, it means that fear is present somewhere. You're fearing being focused of some kind. Either you believe that being focused will cost you something that you're going to lose time. Either you believe that by you being focused that, oh my God, it's going to take me all this time if I actually sit down and plan my content. I don't have the time to sit down and organize my profit plan. I don't have time to sit down and map out what I'm going to do for the year, or how I'm going to make my money. So let me just do random classes and webinars to just make some quick change, right? And so that's fear. So the disciples, the storm comes and now they're fearful. Oh, we're going to die. We're going to die, Jesus. Now, here's the funny thing. Jesus was on a mission. See, when you're on a mission, you're focused. And see, no matter what storms come, you are focused. You are absolutely focused. You don't even worry about what's happening on these other sides because you know what you are here to do. Some of you have become fearful because you've looked at other people's social media ads and webinars and trainings, and you feel like your products or services aren't as good as somebody else's. So you have not released a book or a product or a course because you have been in comparison mode on someone else's products or services, pricing, so on and so forth, right? So this storm has come, and instead of you being focused on your mission and your people, you now have stopped and said, oh my God, my products are not going to be good. Nobody's going to read it. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to do this. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody even said that. You just focus on the storm. So the disciples say, Jesus, wake up. We're going to die. Jesus responds to them and says, oh, ye of little faith. Got it? Oh, ye of little faith. And what's happening is the fact of you have to realize that you have to learn how to grow. Got it? You have to learn how to grow. Okay. So when you learn how to grow, when you learn how to focus on who you're connected to, got it? So the reason why they survived is that this is big. He was challenging them to remember who they were connected to. When you forget who you're connected to, when you forget your connection, when you forget the importance of your connections, you begin to walk in fear. Let me tell you one of the reasons why so many people are going to either lose in this season or win in this season. Right now, everyone is at home. Right now, again, if you're watching this and it's past COVID-19, then this no longer applies. But right now, while I'm teaching this live stream, we're in the midst of COVID-19. Got it? Everyone's at home. This is the perfect time that all these people that you were trying to work for to meet at events and in different cities, use your LinkedIn to create connections right now. You need to connect with people. You need to network. You need to introduce yourself. You need to send messages. I mean, if you have the time, you need to do your best to connect, because when you forget about your connection, you begin to walk back into fear. This is why for some people, their platform isn't moving because they aren't moving. You're like, you are in continuous connection. And so just like the disciples, they forgot who they were in. They forgot who they were in the boat with. This is why you gotta connect as an entrepreneur. Number one, you cannot have scattered movements, but number two, you have to network. Some of you need to network your bottom. You don't talk to anybody. You talk to the same people every day. You have the same followers. You're not going after any new followers. You're not trying to collaborate or do joint events. This is the time. You need to do some. You need to get innovative and do something. But number three is that this is when you present yourself as an expert. The disciples, they forgot this, but Jesus didn't. This is what happened. They said, Jesus said, oh, you have little faith. Then guess what Jesus did? He established his authority. Y'all got to know the story. I'm telling you, some of these stories are awesome in teaching. He told the storm to be still, and then he went back to sleep. He said, I'm not even going to waste my time in trying to dibble dabble in the stress of this storm. Peace, be still. What did he do? He literally established his authority. He used his mouth to speak to the storm and to continue on his mission. When you are an expert, you establish your authority. That means that it is not a guessing game if you are actually who you say that you are. The reason why Jesus was shocked at the disciples, well, he wasn't really shocked, but it was that he had been teaching them about how to establish authority. That was the whole purpose of being a disciple, is to follow and apply. Got it? And so this was a moment where, when we're talking about platform building, this is the perfect story to use as an example. He was showing them, use your authority. When you're on a mission and you're facing a storm, you focus on your authority. You focus on your authority. So for instance, my job right now and during this season, and really continue continuously is to be an expert when it comes to platform building. I am the expert when it comes to building your platform. Got it? And I do not shy away from establishing my authority. So yes, I am not scattered. I'm focused. I have a focus for this month. I know how I want to build my revenue for this month. I know what classes or courses I'm releasing and focusing on. I know what books I want to push from my bookstore. I know how many coaching sessions I want to book to make a goal, and I know my actions to produce those coaching sessions. I'm not scattered. Number two, I'm going to make sure that I'm continuously networking. I just did matter of fact, even tonight at 7:30, we're in week 7 of a 8-week huge collaboration I hosted called Faith on Fire 2020, where I took 8 experts together and hosted a virtual 8-week summit for Christian leaders. I have been collaborating and working and building my list. So when we talk about this thing, during this time, I could have sat still, but instead, what I did was I hosted an online event, collaborated with 8 other Christian leaders for business owners and ministry leaders. And in exchange, I gathered over 500 leads that I can use and convert for something new. I'm not just sitting still. And again, I'm figuring out, how can I collaborate? How can I expand my network? Got it? On top of that, I am someone who has continuously established my expertise, from the trainings to Leaders Lab to Leaders League. I am doing things that continuously establish my expertise. I have courses, classes, trainings, articles, blog posts, podcasts. There's nothing that I am not doing that all goes towards one focus. I'm asking you to do something for me. We're almost done. I'm asking you, number one, to flow. Focus and flow. Focus and flow. In this season, do not become scattered. Focus and flow. Focus and flow. This is not the time for you to build 5 businesses at one time. It's time for you to focus and flow, okay? Build one successful company at a time, okay? You focus and flow, okay? Number 2, this is the time for you to connect and network like never before. Network above your level, okay? That's very important to do. Network for where you're going, not where you are. It's great you have people for where you are. Now let's network for where you're going. Number 3, you need to pivot and position. If you are out of alignment with, as far as, you position your expertise, let's get into position. Let's pivot first. Let's change. Let's make sure that we're shifting to highlight our expertise. And then number 2, we need to position. Okay. So I am done. These are my notes. I do have some ending announcements. Number 1, I want to make sure that you have joined the email list. If you have not joined the email list, you need to go to my name, genesisdorsey.com, and get the Platform Playbook. Again, we're just kicking off Platform 101. But again, the Platform Playbook is a free playbook I wrote that gives you the 3 beginning plays to building an effective platform. Remember, we touched on this today. People think they have a platform. A lot of them don't, because you know why? They haven't built a movement. They're not causing people to move or get results. They have no real true products or products or services in place that align to that movement or mission. They're kind of just selling random products and books that have nothing to do with their mission or vision, right? Nothing to do with causing people again to have results. And you want to make sure that you have a platform that is cohesive, which we touched on. So make sure you join my email list. Go to genesisdorsey.com, click on the Platform Playbook banner or the top bar that says join the email list. And then the second thing is that tonight we open up doors for Platform School. Platform School will have 50 seats. Each seat is going to be $49 early bird, and will go up to $97 for those of you who decide to be late and sign up. So what's going to happen is we're going to release the early bird schedule, then we're going to release the general release, which is basically going to be like 2 weeks right before, which is basically, early birds get the worm, okay? And so what Platform School is going to be, it's going to be on May 30th at 7 p.m. It's going to be a 1-hour effective training, and it's all built upon how to do your product map and how to position your platform for profit. A lot of people have platforms, but they're not profitable. Because if I ask you, can you give me an estimation for what you're going to make in quarter 2 and quarter 3 and quarter 4? They couldn't tell you. They have no projections for how they're going to make it, no action points on how they're going to make it. They don't know where the traffic is going to come from for them to make it. You are not running a business and you don't have a platform, okay? So we need to talk about, how do we drive traffic? How do we drive traffic with not having a huge email list, with not having, thousands of people following you? Because you can make money at any stage, but you have to learn how to package. A lot of people don't know how to package. They just know how to produce, but producing without packaging is a bad thing. big, because packaging is how we help people to focus on what they need to purchase. Got it? So you definitely need this training. Again, I have not taught anything like this. This is a brand new training. So if you have purchased anything from me, you don't have this. Okay, you do not have this. The only people who learn this are my coaching clients, which they don't need to purchase this because they already have purchased coaching. Got it? But for those of you who don't have me as your actual one-on-one coach, the platform school is going to be for you. Again, it's a 1-hour training. And after this training, you're going to learn how to do 3 things. The first thing you're going to learn how to do is package your genius. This is essential for any platform leader or expert. How do I package my knowledge? The second thing you're going to learn how to do is how to price your knowledge. I teach you how to have a pricing table, how to price your knowledge. The third thing you're going to learn how to do is how to create a product map, which will help you to package and price. Because a product map basically teaches you how to take all of your knowledge and then split it up into active and passive income products, because you don't just want 1 product or 2 products. You need a whole map of products. And I'm going to teach you how to have a product map. And this is big. So again, it's going to be $49 early bird. We're going to release it to all of my email subscribers. That's why I got to be part of the email list, because you get first dib on seats. So I'm doing this where it's going to be 50 seats at $49 early bird, then $97 if, let's say you can't invest immediately. Don't worry. It's only going to be $97. $100 is not a lot from what I'm about to give you, because I'm going to teach you how to make the money back. Okay. So you invest in this, and then on the flip side, you're going to go out here and you're going to begin to market yourself. But remember, it's not going to happen if you don't have authority. It's not going to happen if you don't have results. And remember, just like we talked about with the story, after the storm calmed, they went to the other side. But here's the whole thing. They went to the other side because that is what Jesus said in the beginning. Listen, that's what he said in the beginning. So see, you're going to have whatever you say from the beginning. So this is the thing. Again, I want to encourage you again. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you were able to learn something. Again, here's what I want you to do. If you want to get 15% off of this class of Platform School, you say, Genesis, I need to learn how to I got to learn how to package my knowledge. I need to learn how to gather all of my ideas together. It just seems so scattered. I need help. You need to be a part of Platform School. And if you want 15% off, whether you do the 49 or whether you do the 97, all you have to do is do this. If you're on Instagram, DM me and tell me a couple lessons that you've learned, okay? And then if you're on Facebook, YouTube, you're watching this, send me an email or go to my website and click on the contact form, okay? And I want you to tell me your first name and then tell me the lessons that you've learned. When I get your message, in exchange for you telling me what you've learned, I'm going to give you a 15% off coupon that you can use at registration, okay? So if you want the 15%, take action. If you don't want it, that's fine, okay? Guys, I will see you next week at 6:30 right here, same place, Instagram Live as well as Facebook and YouTube Live, okay? 6:30 next week, 6:30. We're going to be talking about the next phase of building your platform, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Join the email list, and then if you have not joined the email list, join that. And if you have joined the email list, send me that DM or that email so you can get 15% off Platform School on May 30th at 7 o'clock. See you guys later. Bye, Instagram. I will see you guys later. And see you later, Facebook. It was a pleasure. See you later, YouTube. A pleasure joining you guys. Bye-bye.